In 2 minutes, your decision-making process will change forever. Listen to these two stories. A few weeks ago, the House of Representatives hosted a meeting to vote on the budget of the defense and security for the country. And this year, it was $832 billion. Inside it, $500 million of taxpayer money were set for Israeli military. During the meeting, Representative Marjorie Greene presented an amendment and tried to remove the $500 million. She presented multiple logical and sound reasons, such as the US being in a huge debt and that Israel, that is nuclear-armed Israel, being able to pay for its own defense. Now the votes on her amendment, they failed hard. Only 6 representatives voted for her and 422 representatives voted for Israel. And now, the second story. That is a quiet, famous story as we read it every single Friday. And yes, this story varies in multiple traditions, but the Quran shifts focus from details to wisdom. The story of the young men of the cave, aka the 7 or 8 sleepers. In short, few young men lived in a time where the emperor declared pagancy to be the norm. Idol worship to be the law that if someone breaks, they shall be outcasted or even killed. But God opened the hearts of these young men to monotheism, and they stood up trying to spread awareness against that oppression and pagan nonsense. But then these young guys were labeled the criminals and their names were written on the raqim. Remember that, a board in the city in which on it was written the names of these young villains. In fear of losing their cause and their faith, they ran away and gathered in a far-off cave. And God's will was that they will fall asleep for 309 years. The government would initiate reviews every few years with the governors of the city to keep track about who was captured and who wasn't. And thus the board was continuously being updated by the people of the board, Ashab al-Raqim. And in their cave, centuries later, they woke up unaware of how long they have slept for. And it wasn't long before these guys were discovered by the city residents, who were able to recognize them, as the names of these young men matched the ones labeled on the board of legends, the board of heroes. Yes, over the centuries, the board remained, and it became the representation of those who stood up for justice. To the surprise of these young guys, over the years, the city dropped all kinds of idol worship. And from that, I will say, this revelation from God is beneficial for Marjorie and for anyone trying to stand for the right thing while the whole world is fighting them. For Representative Marjorie, what you are fighting for, cutting ties with Israel, is a crucial case for us. And despite having some misalignments in our and your views, as long as you are supporting this case, you have the support of our community. And yes, you and those alike will hear criticisms from parties and pro-Israel groups. They will describe you in offensive ways and might even call you a terrorist. But know from the story that I mentioned earlier, that as long as you stand for the truth and justice, God can cleanse your name and fulfill your purpose, even in your sleep.